Hi Liam, how are you?
Yeah, very good, thanks. How are you? You well?
Grand Liam. This is Jim Conlan here from RCB Radio Sport Ireland, Liam. Liam, I want to talk to you about Troy Parrett, I suppose, since 5 games with the club, 2 goals, 1 assist, one of those goals against the league leaders, Sunderland. Have you sat down with Troy and have you set targets in terms of goals for the season? I expect him Troy to get into double figures?
Yeah, we've had a chat. We've sat down numerous times. I think yeah, it's one we're working through at the moment in terms of definite numbers, which again will stay in house. We'll keep that between us. I think double figures is something that's achievable for him. Again, he's got off to a really good start since we've been here. I think he's a constant attacking threat, but I also think what he does really bring to the team is, a real honesty. We played Ipswich away, which he comes off slightly disappointed and frustrated because he hasn't scored. But for me, he gets a 6 out of 10 straight away just because of the shift he puts in for the team. So I think we're really clear in terms of Troy what he's about. I think is yes, score, create goals, but also now you can really trust the defensive side of his game and how responsible he is. So he's done really well. I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes for him without putting too much pressure on.
And Liam, in terms of being away and training with an international squad, do you always feel like there's a bounce and try step when he comes back to MK Dons after being away with the international team and going up against the likes of Seamus Coleman and training and stuff like that? That's only going to be a benefit to you and MK Dons testing himself against Premier League opposition, and obviously being involved in situations in terms of match environments, take this week around Portugal and stuff like that. That sort of experience, bringing it back to your own dressing room, obviously must be of benefit as well.
Yeah, definitely. I also think first and foremost, it's a hugely proud moment for him and his family to be able to represent your country. So I think that's a really special moment for him that over and over again is one that he needs to keep working hard to make sure that he stays in the squad. And then you're training with the level of player you spoke about there, or you're testing yourself against an opposition of international level. Again, it's only going to improve you and make you a better player. So although it's a big loss for us at the weekend, I think like you said, he comes back hopefully with confidence, hopefully with a real hunger and enthusiasm, to keep working hard, to improving his game, to keep performing to a consistently high level, to then ultimately get himself to a level where he's at a high level where he's playing in the Championship, the Premier League. That's ultimately what he needs to keep doing. So I think I think it's a terrific opportunity for him to keep progressing as a player, and when he comes back, it will be be important he keeps that momentum with us.
And I suppose, Liam, if you look at the top of the League One sort of table at the moment, all the traditional big teams with big reputations, big fan bases, they've all started well. Sunderland, for example, started well. We have Sheffield Wednesday, Wigan, all big clubs. They've all had good starts to the season as well. Big, massive sort of resources as well. So obviously MK Dons a formidable side in this division, but seeing the big sort of reputable teams in division starting well with probably more resources, is that a bit of a concern, or is it something that you expected when you looked at their squads at the start of the season?
No, I think it's still so early on. I think there's still a huge amount of football to be played. I think getting off to a good start's important, but it's not everything. I think I've been relatively pleased given all the change at the club and everything that's happened with how the players have responded. I think we've performed well and maybe not picked up the number of points we could have. So again, I think I'm really clear. It's an extremely long season, huge amount of football still to be played. It's about concentrating on us, what we can control. So how we train, how we apply ourselves, how we go into games, how well prepared we are. I think them things are ultimately the most important thing. So over the course of the year, I'm sure most teams are going to have highs, lows, challenges. How they cope with success. So I think for us, it's concentrate on us, concentrate on week to week what we can, not think too far ahead, and make sure that we keep performing and picking up results.
And Liam, you mentioned the fixture congestion. I was just looking there before you play a weekend on the 19th of November. You've 19th of October. You've 9 games between then and now. A formidable amount of games in any sort of competition. Do you feel there's enough depth in your squad in terms of the numbers to be able to deal with that sort of fixture backlog?
Yeah, we've got a good squad. We have, obviously, like we spoke about earlier in the interview, we have a couple of injured players to come back. So again, I think they're almost like new signings. I think when you can get them back in and you can increase their minutes and get them match fit. So I'm really pleased with the group we have. I think we've got good depth. I think we've got, most importantly, good quality. I think it's about that in terms of having enough players to get through. That the culture stays strong. That everybody plays their part. So when I look at the squad, when I look at the depth, I'm really pleased both with the numbers but also the quality.
And Liam, lastly for me, I suppose in terms of the season, are you a manager that likes to finish the season on good form, maybe in terms of, let's pretend, the sort of playoffs coming in on the back of a really good sort of run and then momentum with you, or you prefer to be in the sort of playoff positions throughout the year and obviously then try and capitalise when the playoffs are? Do you feel momentum is a massive key towards the end of the season when it's deciding the promotion spots and obviously the playoff spots, and I suppose the playoffs would be a requirement or a target for MK Dons this year?
Yeah, I mean, firstly, momentum's huge. I think whether it's now in the season, whether it's at Christmas, whether it's at the end of the season, I think form and momentum is really important. I think with momentum, what you get is confidence. You get relationships. You get connections. So momentum is really important. I think we have some in-house targets which we're working towards, but for me, it's not getting carried away. We're five games into the season. It's around focusing on the now, focusing on what we can control, which is the next week or 2 weeks. So it's making sure that we get that right. We pick up points along the way. Then where we're at the end of the season is ultimately where we're at. So we know where we want to get to. We know what we need to do. But like I say, for me, it's more on the short term. Let's train right. Let's work hard. Let's make sure we prepare correctly so that come Cheltenham tomorrow. That's the biggest thing. Making sure that we do our best to pick up another 3 points.